My name is Ken Westfall. I am the digital content director at NONBOX. We're a small advertising agency based out of Portland, Oregon. Digital content director, what that means is I'm basically in charge of everything on the web. So websites, animated flash banners, and anything that's kind of not traditional. So it actually ties really nicely with a new media kind of thing. So 3D models, interactive kind of things online, electronic mails, all that kind of stuff. I'm in charge of in our office. Basically, I found out about NONBOX just by walking past their office all the time, and I realized that they seemed cool. I saw a bunch of cool pictures in there, and they had a cool looking paint scheme. So after looking them up online and seeing the kind of work they did, I determined this seems like a pretty cool place. I want to check them out. So what I did was I didn't even look for a job opening. I just contacted them and I said, hey, look, I'm a college student. I am going to be graduating in a couple months. I want to see what I can do to make myself look better when I'm actually applying for jobs. And so I talked with one of the partners, sent him my portfolio, sent him the website I was working on, and went back and forth with the idea that I was kind of improving myself. Not necessarily that I wanted to work for them, but just kind of they seemed like a cool place. And then after we discussed things and stuff, it turned out that I was going to actually be a pretty good fit there. I meshed well with his personality, and I was going to mesh well with the office as well. And he liked the kind of work that I did. And so based off of my cold call and our little bit of back and forth communication, I got on as an intern. And that was in July of 2010. And then I worked my way up as an intern, and then I kind of proved myself, and now I'm what I do today. So that's how I got here. You should say, this is my first contact with this company, and I want it to be my strongest. So introduce yourself, talk about about the company, you think you'd be a good fit, talk about why you think you'd be a good fit, what you have to offer, and then link to your website, attach a resume. I want to get to know you. They're going to want to get to know you. So link me to like a Pinterest board, for example, if you have that kind of thing, so I can get to see who you are. If you have a Tumblr, Twitter, just show me that you're active in new media. I mean, especially being new media students, we should understand the world the digital world that new media is. And so if you show that you understand the agency and the industry that you want to work in, and showcase kind of how you stand apart from the audience and the rest of the applicants, then that's the best way, I think. I realized later in my career at OSU as a student that I want to be doing something with the web. I really like the blend of interactivity, the programming, as well as the art side of things. So making things look good as well as function. And I talked to a few people who said it's going to be hard finding a job as a web designer or a web developer. But luckily, I wasn't deterred, and I kind of was mostly self-taught in that regard, because we don't have a whole lot of classes at OSU, at least when I was here, for the web design part of things. So what I did was I wanted to go into the web, and I tried to get as much of that as I could while I was here. So my goals were to be essentially doing what I am doing now. Ideally, my goal is to be working for myself, but you got to start somewhere. You got to get experience doing the jobs, things like that. So yeah, as a student, my goals were to be working in web design in the advertising marketing agency kind of field. Whatever you learned in class, take that as the seed to what you want to be. And what I mean by that is, for example, we had quite a few classes where, like for me, I use Photoshop all the time right now, and I use Final Cut quite a bit as well. We had some classes where we do a little bit of Photoshop, a little bit of Final Cut, a little bit of InDesign. This technical skills, the proficiency in these programs, take your class work and use that as the basis to where you should start. So if you learn a little bit, build on that. Don't stop at your homework, because you're going to be using this if you stay in this industry. Well, my industry, is advertising, creating, that kind of stuff. You're going to be using it every day, and the stronger you are starting, the better job you're going to be able to find. And so a lot of what I use, actually quite a bit, a majority of what I use now is self-taught skills. Whether that's programming for websites or doing Photoshop or layout and InDesign, it's stuff that I've figured out. And I think that is one of the biggest things is just, if you have anything that you want to learn, look up tutorials online. There's such a wealth of knowledge online that yes, teachers are valuable, and actually they are a great resource that people should use more. So find tutorials, find things that you want to learn, but then communicate with your teachers. They are teaching you because they have more technical knowledge than you, and so if they see that you want to learn, they're going to want to help you even more. So I would highly recommend just finding what you like and do it. Do it more than you think you probably should, because it'll pay off. Yeah, as a student, I would have double majored in graphic design. I really wanted to. I know now that I should have fostered that creative side more. I really would have liked to have developed the design sensibility more, because I'm getting pretty good at being technical, pretty good at programming, pretty good at layout, but the ability to create pretty things, really cool designs, pictures, learning the different techniques that they learn in the creative design, the graphic design major. That's something that I really would have focused on and done. I think that's something, another recommendation to students is that if you have any kind of an interest, right now is the time to get into it. And I know it's hard with scheduling and social life, but even if it's just like an elective class or just a class you take randomly or just sit in, anything that seems interesting now is the time to do it. Now is the time to get involved in it, because it's only going to get harder. Your time is only going to get more occupied, and it's going to be really hard to develop those skills later. Graduated seniors should expect that there are going to be a lot of graduated seniors. There's going to be very tough competition. And like I said earlier, the seniors need to do everything they can to make themselves look good. They need to be persistent. When I was leaving today to come here to talk, my boss said, tell them to be persistent, because people can get easily distracted or easily defeated by one no. But that shouldn't be the end. So when students are applying for jobs, and once they have all of the resume, the website, the portfolio put together, they should apply for jobs that aren't even open. They should apply for places that they seem like would be a cool place to work. They should be persistent in every day, just putting it out there, doing something, going and visiting places, trying to set up even just job shadows. Just expect a grind. I see media converging, and so I feel like people's skills should be converging as well. You should be at least exposed to a little bit of everything, so that way when you get thrown in the field and you're like, well, we need you to do this, or try that out, you can say I can, or at least I can figure it out. Luckily, I think NMC does a really good job of exposing us to a little bit of everything, but that doesn't mean it's the end, like I said earlier. So I see everything's just going to continue converging, and we should do our best to stay on top of all of those technologies. Some closing advice I have for seniors is to do work. What I mean by that is, don't stop at homework. Don't stop at what's assigned to you. If you want to get a job, you have to be passionate about it. The reason people get hired is because they're passionate. They get hired because the employers see that this person has something to offer, and it's not that they're good at it, it's that they like it, that they love what they do, and I want that passion to be where I am. I want them to be on my team. And the only way to get passionate about something is to become good at it, really, I think. I think they go hand in hand. If you're passionate, you'll get better, but you spend the time doing it. So if you want to become an artist, paint or draw in Photoshop. If you want a musician, you practice. All of these skills are an art form, and the more you practice, the more you hone those skills, the better chance you'll have of getting a job. And so I feel like that's the best advice I can give, is just hone your craft, and don't be ashamed to market yourself when you get good at that craft, because that's the only way you're going to get a great job.